been one person asking for this nonstop, and several other people always chiming in because y'all often want Jacob Ritts on the podcast. Jacob, how long you been working with us?
Coming up on, I started in 2020, March 2020. So coming up on 5 years.
So 5 years deep, we finally have the one with Jacob Ritts. So let's welcome Jacob Ritts to the podcast.
This is the shirt Bob gave Jacob, by the way.
Oh no, I made this myself. I got this custom printed.
For those of you who are not watching, Jacob's shirt says loads.
You have the hat. I like the hat. Did you get the hat made yourself too?
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Do you have a loads necklace as well?
I do. I honestly should start a line. I should start
Honestly, I think a lot of gays would be into it. A loads hat, loads shirt. I think you have to.
Could you call it loads of fashion?
Wait, okay. Here's the real tea. I just got them from Amazon. Like you can do custom shirts on Amazon. So like, it doesn't feel particularly ethical to just like get something from Amazon and then mark it up and ship it out when you could do it yourself.
What if you
you design it with like your own font and everything?
That's fair. Maybe I'll look.
And you can put pictures on it, and you can have you can call it loads of fashion. Here it is. The Instagram is called loads of fashion.
Like someone taking a load,
like a butt, just a butt, or or someone like on their knees, or someone with their mouth open, or a mouth like this, and it just says loads on it.
Do you wear this around your mom?
Not specifically, but it's not that I wouldn't.
When me and Monét were having this conversation, do you curse around your mom?
Oh, absolutely. My mom curses around me when I was like a child.
But
my
are
mom's
you
from New York.
Let's say you these motherfucking dumbass fucking bitches. Like, are you that? Are you like?
Jacob doesn't talk like that though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I don't talk like that in general, but I'd be like, yeah, that's like a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, that I get too, but I wouldn't like. Sometimes I think when I get really passionate, like today, when the bitch was fucking ringing my bell, I was like, this fucking bitch, this is my fucking podcast. They're fucking like, I would not, but I would say I'm so fucking annoyed, but I wouldn't be like going in.
I would say one thing my mom didn't like was when you did too much on calling women bitches. Like my mom called me one time. She was like, I was watching Bianca's special, and she's up here calling these women bitches and just like bitches. And she goes, Chris, what I like about you is that you don't just go in and call women bitches nonstop. Well, she is really calling these women bitches right to their face. And I said, well, mom, some people like being called. Some women are like into being called bitch and think it's funny, and they're like, I'm a bitch and you're a bitch. I'm the baddest bitch. And some women, these women, they might be cool with it. I don't know, obviously, because I haven't checked with them. But they might be like into, some women like being called bitches. My mom was like, well, I don't know about this.
I'm a woman and I like being called a bitch.
Do you consider yourself like a bitch, like a bad bitch, a funny bitch, a cool bitch?
I don't really use the word. I call myself a hood bitch. I think I have a lot of hood tendencies sometimes. But I call myself a ghetto bitch or a bad bitch or whatever bitch. That's not me though.
Yeah, I call myself a funny bitch, and I do have a song called "Bitch Like Me."
A bitch like me is a stunty queen. You're gonna want me queen. I'm the queen of the motherfucking pin back.
There was an episode
verbatim
of 3 where somebody was asking for help with self-confidence, and they were like, I just like want to have more self-confidence. And Monét's advice was to find someone who was into that as a kink. That was a really highlight Sibling Rivalry moment for me.
Wait, someone what was the kink?
Like degradation, and like you're like, oh, you don't have high self-confidence, like find someone who's into that. Find someone who's no self-confidence kink. Peace every moment.
Monét, the Dr. Ruth of didn't you have Dr. Ruth on your show one time, Mo?
I did have Dr. Ruth. I did. Oh my God, stop, I'm gonna cry. I'm literally around the corner from my old studio. I miss the exchange rate so much.
R.I.P. to Dr. Ruth. But Monét, you're doing
quite my show. Fuck her, she's dead.
Your show is too.
I could come back though. My show can come back from the dead. That bitch is dead forever.
But you have Monét Talks, which is doing quite well.
I know, but I miss Exchange Rate, Bob. Jacob, did you ever watch Exchange Rate before you met Bob or me?
But you just heard Exchange Rate after I met you.
But Jacob and I used to watch Exchange Rate together though.
Did y'all really?
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob, before you met Bob, were you a fan of mine or Bob's before? Not even a big fan, but who you were a fan of, me or Bob's? Or not at all?
Well, I met Bob when your season was airing.
You met Bob when my season was airing? Where?
in Berkeley in like 2017. I think.
Right. You're right. Okay, work.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to trap Jacob in a little piece?
I'm not trying to check anything.
Now, Jacob, were you a fan of me before you met me, Jacob?
Yeah, I would say so.
Why your voice went up when you said that?
Because he wasn't.
No,
Team
I was a fan of
Kimchi.
you, sure.
Team Kimchi is giving Team Kimchi.
Jacob, I was telling Bob. Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Who are my big drag race girls before? No, I mean, I liked you in your season. I really like Naomi on your season. Derek Barry. Oh, I love Derek Barry. Derek Barry is one of my favorite drag race girls, and I have not met her yet, which I am so annoyed about.
Really?
You haven't met Derek Barry?
I've never met Derek Barry, and I am obsessed with her.
That's wild. Derek Barry, she's a good time girl. She's really funny and honestly really sweet.
Yeah, Derek Barry, I really enjoy Derek. Derek is very, very, very sweet. I like her a lot.
Jacob went through a phase where he was a full-on Aja stan. I think Aja was in his Spotify rap like 2 years in a row.
Finish her.
And Jacob also is a diehard Peppermint stan as well. I think Peppermint might be one of Jacob's favorite Drag Race girls. Jacob once edited a vlog for me, and it was a Peppermint vlog. I was like, okay. I said, oh, okay. I guess we're doing a Peppermint vlog. Like the whole end was this big montage of Peppermint, like this big Peppermint speech. Like the end of my vlog was this big Peppermint speech with like, honestly, it is a beautiful vlog. It might be one of my favorite videos Jacob's ever edited for me. It is the Nubia vlog. And it basically is, it's almost like a little reality TV show of me and Peppermint rehearsing for Nubia. And honestly, it was very, very well. And honestly, Jacob, what you did with that little slow motion video at the end and Peppermint's big speech, honestly, Scorsese could never.
You said Scorsese?
Drag Race you watched?
What'd you say?
What was the first season of Drag Race you watched? Did you start with 1?
Season 1, episode 1.
Did you say Martin Scorsese?
No, I said Scorsese.
Oh,
I didn't say Martin. I just said Scorsese could never.
You know, SZA has a song, Scorsese Baby.
Why she got all these songs named after like Kill Bill, Scorsese, Betty Davis? What's the other one?
Drew Barrymore.
What's up with what is this?
The song's called Scorsese Baby Daddy.
Does she want to fuck Scorsese?
I think she's just into Martin Scorsese.
Is she into daddies?
I don't know.
Ben Affleck?
She doesn't have a Ben Affleck song.
Sorry, Ben Stiller. She's into Ben Stiller.
Right, because she likes his work on the show Severance.
You don't know why she's into Ben Stiller. You don't know.
Yes,
you're assuming.
there's literally a tweet about it. I read it to you.
But you don't know if she's into Ben Stiller sexually.
Hey,
you have no
she's.
clue.
And you don't know if she is either. You're just
I don't know. I'm asking. You're asserting.
Jacob, no, I'm not asserting. You're not asking, Bob. You're asserting. You said you're asking a question.
No, I said, is she into daddies?
I feel like this is just a regular podcast, but I'm on camera now.
Well, Jacob, sorry. So Jacob, we're gonna get back to Jacob Ritts. Okay, so Jacob Ritts, tell us a little bit about. See, I'm so bad at interviewing people. Jacob, you can also just jump in. So Jacob is a photographer who went to the new school in New York City.
Laughing.
Jacob studied photography at the new school in Manhattan. Did you ever run into Tim Gunn at the new school?
Did I ever went to who?
Did you ever run into Tim Gunn at the new school?
He was in the fashion part.
Oh, well, so when Project Runway was being filmed, the new school had a property in Times Square that they were using for fashion, but then they sold it before I enrolled there. So
didn't Tim Gunn teach at the new school? Wasn't he like a professor there?
I don't think so. It's possible. Also,
I
like
guess
the
I would
fashion
actually Google
students
it, but
in the
you're
new
on the
school were
episode now,
like
so
their
I'll look it up
entirely
myself.
own like other little world, and like we never saw them because they were just showing all day. So
it's such a big school, right? Like I'd imagine you had no crossover with these people.
Yeah, no, I didn't really see the fashion kids. We were more like there was an art building, and we were in the art building with all the art people.
Tim Gunn has clocked more classroom hours than viewers may realize. He began teaching in 1978 at the Corcoran College of Art and Design, where he studied sculpture. For 4 years later, he moved to Parsons New School for Design.
Oh.
So he was a professor at Parsons.
Pop off.
I was telling Bob the other day that I am kind of obsessed with your mom.
Oh, Rose.
Oh, Rose is an icon.
I'm just obsessed with Rose. I think Rose is so cute. I think she's so funny. Rose seems like she'll be a good mom to have growing up. She seems like she'll be a great mom.
You know, I think so. I would agree with that.
Can you tell the Dorothy dress story?
Oh, yeah. For Hanukkah one year, I think I was maybe 5 or 6. one of my presents that I knew ahead of time was a Dorothy dress.
How did you know? Did you sneak and look at it in the closet?
I think it was my sister's, and then I was getting it after. I don't fully remember.
Got it.
But I found it in my mom's closet. And I opened it and started wearing it around the house. And mom was like, "What are you doing? Like, that's your Hanukkah present." And I was like, "But I want it now." And she was like, "That's not how it works." So then they took it away, and then I didn't get it for Hanukkah.
Word. Yes, that's a great lesson.
Also, Rose Ritts was apparently obsessed with jumping out from behind things and scaring people. Rose, didn't she hide in the closet one time for a long time to scare someone?
My family is very big on bits and pranks, and we take April Fool's Day very seriously. So it's not that my mom specifically enjoys scaring people all the time.
About to walk around the house.
One time for April Fool's Day, she did an extended bit where she hid in my sister's closet for 3 hours to pretend to be a monster when my sister was 14, to scare her. So yes, my mom did a very long extended bit that involved hiding my sister's closet on April Fool's Day to surprise her. And honestly, it paid off.
For 3 hours? Why couldn't she leave the closet?
The story is that it was 3 hours. I don't know how long it actually was.
I would commit
even if it was 1 hour. That's crazy.
I would, girl. Even for 20 minutes is long.
Can we include a picture of Rose Ritts right here? Would she be weird about that?
I'll ask her. Sometimes when Bob is around the house, I'll hide from him, and then he'll just have to find me.
Oh, girl, I scare Andy all the time because Andy's
it's not just hiding. Jacob, so I will we'll be in the living room, and then I'll go to the kitchen. And I'll come back, and Jacob will be gone. Not to jump out and hide me, but he just will not. He will have vanished, and I'll be like, Jacob, where? So I now am on a hide and seek. I have now been inserted into a game of hide and seek without my knowledge, and I have to find Jacob. And Jacob is particularly tiny, so I have to find him in the house somewhere, hiding under a couch, behind a curtain, in a closet, on a rack, on an elf with a shelf, on a plane with a train.
Well, I mean, I do some things too, but Andy swears I walk lightly in the home. I'm like, no, I'm just not stomping around the house. So if he is downstairs in the kitchen, I would literally, Andy, and you know where the kitchen is. I'm coming downstairs, walking normally, and he turn in the fridge to get something. By the time he turns back around, I'm there, and I'll be like, hey, I'm like,
valid.
No. I do that with Bob all the time. Bob is so scaredy of everything. I can walk behind him in the kitchen and he will scream.
Valid, super valid. And by the way, Jacob does not have a particularly dainty gait, so I do not know how Jacob is always sneaking up on me. But there are times where this man, I will look back. Also, Jacob is low key below my sight line, right? So I turn around and Jacob is just standing there with an iced coffee.
Okay, he's not that far below your sight line. He's not on the ground.
If we're standing close to each other, he's below my sight line.
I don't think that's how that works, because this is still in my sight line down here. And Jacob is not that. Where does Jacob meet you? Jacob, where do you meet Bob? At his titties?
Yeah, mid-chest.
Yeah. So now what?
I think it's very cute that y'all did a virtual Hanukkah this year. I would like y'all to invite me next year, because I think I want to participate, but
we're lighting candles tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time if you want to join.
Oh, don't back out now.
Let me see what I'm doing. Don't back out now. That's noon my time, which means I will be...
Oh, I have your schedule. Don't lie.
I'll be sucking dick at that time. I have an appointment tomorrow.
Oh.
So you had an opportunity to come to the menorah lighting, and instead you're
y'all told me today. Y'all told me y'all gave me less than 24 hours.
Okay. You're acting like they sprung this on you. You asked to be invited.
What about Monday?
No, you asked to be invited, and then you're like, y'all sprung this on me last minute. Asking to be invited, and then saying they sprung it on you is peak Monét behavior.
So the other day after Christmas at my house, we all played Smash Brothers. And y'all, when I tell you, I mopped the floor.
Oh yeah, you've been practicing.
So I will say, this was one of Monét's best showings in Smash. That being said, these days, I only play Smash with Monét. I mean, this is, a lot of it's on me. I cannot get my Switch to, I have not turned my Switch on in months. And the other day I tried to turn it on to play Smash at home by myself, but I had to download Smash. It had undownloaded off my Switch. But Monét knows when I get back in that gym, when I get back in the training, there's nothing she can do. Monét knows that when I get back to training, she's cooked.
I'm hearing a whole lot of this. And for all our listeners, I'm moving my hands like a puppet. I'm hearing a lot of this. Bob's lips are doing this a lot.
And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when me and Jacob clown you next time?
You and Jacob, first of all, you and Jacob clown
more after this break.
I'm sorry.
We have a break to take for ads. And now a word from our sponsors. And we're back.
Y'all, when I tell y'all we played 10 or 11 rounds, I won every last one of them.
You did a good job.
I walked with like 50-something kills. It was insane.
You did a good job, but the question is, we better do it next time.
And y'all, that's Bob's thing every time. Bob was like, do you think, he's like, do you think you're going to win the next round? You think you're going to win the rest of the next round? I was like, I mean, I don't know, maybe. But
I would tell people, the fun thing about me is, I would say this, I am not a sore loser. Sometimes losing is funny. Sometimes talking shit is funnier when you're way behind. But when I do win, it is everyone's problem. Just like Monét. By the way, Monét is the same way. She won't admit it. Monét, you're just as bad as me, if not worse.
I don't think that's true. Jacob and I we're both Pisces.
Just brought up how you won so much over all of us.
And by the way, after every round, Monét was like, "Is anyone even going to attempt to try to be as good as me?" Monét, you are as bad. You are as abysmal of a winner as I am.
That's not true. That's because I only do that because Jacob and Bob. Well, not Jacob so much. Bob has gone on this podcast. Like, remember that time when Jacob scrubbed you on Smash?
He did scrub you.
Jacob
we have it on film
because you did that. So now I feel the need to, to make my wins and my highs.
What's your part in this?
Here we go. Jacob, does Bob do this to you? Ask you what's your part and stuff?
Jacob don't act like this.
Yeah, that's mostly true.
Jacob don't act like this. Me and Jacob don't have this problem. This is a you thing, honey.
So I have a question about the Gay Men's Chorus. So how often do y'all rehearse?
Once a week.
For how long? What did it take to prepare for this concert?
Like 3 months. We started in September, October, November. And then, so 4 months. Our spring one is only 3 months rehearsal though.
That's a lot. That's a lot of music to get done and only in 3 months of what that. So that's 12 weeks of rehearsal. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we have some bonus rehearsals you can go to if you want, but yes.
Oh, so not all the rehearsals are mandatory.
Oh, so no, all the Monday ones are mandatory. You can skip, you can miss 3 rehearsals, and then you have the opportunity to make up those by doing bonus weekend rehearsals that are optional.
I tried to get Monét to start a drag queen course, but I have a new idea.
Oh my goodness.
What if Monét does a drag takeover of the Gay Men's Chorus?
What does that look like?
I feel like if I want to see drag, I want to see it done well, and I feel like it's hard to do that much drag on a good scale and have it be fierce.
So hear me out. Everyone in the chorus gets a drag queen sponsor, or one queen can sponsor 2 people.
I'm not putting nobody in makeup, but a lot of queens cannot translate.
Not you.
I'm saying that a lot of queens, cannot translate, like, do other people's makeup. I don't think that's the thing that, you know what I mean? Oh, is Bob frozen for you too, Jacob? Yeah.
She'll be
good. Honestly, that's how I look. Anyway, that's perfect. So Jacob, so y'all do, and how do solos work? I don't know if this is inside.
You have to audition for them.
You have to audition for them.
Yeah, you audition for solos.
Got it.
Is Bob coming back? What's happening here?
I don't know, girl. She's frozen.
But they want to do something with you if you are interested.
I'll be so down to do something with the Gay Men's Chorus. I would love to sing a piece. I would love to conduct something because I did have my bachelor's of music in music education, which I took Bob is gone. Which I took a whole conducting class. I want to conduct a piece.
I have a question.
You didn't tell me it was dying.
Okay, so I played Final Fantasy 10, but I haven't played 10-2. What happens between 10 and 10-2 where Yuna starts wearing booty shorts and stops summoning?
Yeah, so I don't know this. I don't know what. So y'all, I've said this many times. I firmly believe, in my humble and honest opinion, Final Fantasy X is one of the best video games I've ever played in my life ever. I fucking love that video game. It's so good.
His computer died, so we'll just we'll carry it.
I can't. Well, we're going to continue on. He can come back. And then they have Final Fantasy X-2, which is a continuation of the story, but I don't know how Yuna goes from being this, she's just summoner who saves the world, but then in the next one, she's in a girl group with 2 of the other girls from the original game. It's so interesting. It's so weird.
Oh, I thought they addressed it, but I guess they don't. That's odd. Have you played any of the other Final Fantasies?
You guys hear me?
Now we can hear you.
My computer didn't tell me it was dying. It didn't even be like, "Hey, girl, you got 5 seconds." It was just like, clip. Wait, did y'all finish the drag queen chorus conversation without me?
No, I was moving on to something specifically that we could talk about without you, so you wouldn't feel not included because you weren't here.
Oh, I appreciate that. So my thought
I had
process
that
is
same consideration, but go ahead.
Each queen gets okay, there's like 100 people up there, right?
More.
So everyone has how many, Jacob? 100 or so? 110?
Yeah, we have 300 members, and like I think our last show maybe had 100 people, 100 something.
So every queen doesn't need to be Plastique Tiara. You know what I mean? Everyone doesn't have to be Plastique Tiara. What I'm saying is everyone's wearing a similar hair color or a similar hairstyle. There's something unifying or matching dresses. Maybe they can wear their own hair however they want to wear their hair, but they're all wearing matching dresses. Everyone gets a drag queen sponsor. And I really think this might be one of the biggest shows in the history. Monét, hear me out. Monét X Change hosts what do you call it once every 10 years?
Oh, so you don't have anything to do with this?
I mean, I can't. I'm not really. I don't know much about chorus. I feel like this is really Monet's world.
Decagonal. How do we just say? Because centennial is 100. So decade would be a decadnial. I don't know.
Yeah. So the decagonal, whatever. Once every 10 years, drag queen, gay men's drag queen chorus show, whatever. Everyone's in drag. Give them 5 years to prepare for it. I don't know. I don't care what.
Decennial.
So they all have time to prepare for it. They're all up in drag. Monét X Change is hosting. Monét starts off with a high upbeat. Monét does a beautiful rendition of "Sissy That Walk." They all come out walk. Okay, I'm directing. Monet's hosting. I'm directing. So that's how I'm involved.
I want to conduct.
You can conduct too. I just want to direct the show. I just want to be part of the creative idea of the show, right?
Because you do you're a very good director. You have very good ideas.
Wear your hair and makeup however you want. We're going to end with a beautiful, gorgeous ballad, right? We're also going to do Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, for sure.
So now you're directing and programming the music?
With soloists. We're also going to do Make a Man Out of You. Somehow
I'll make a man out of you.
Oh no, Monét, we're starting with We Are What We Are.
We are what we are.
Wait a second, y'all. Listen. Okay, we have to be at like the Pantages or something. They're all standing around the Palladium. Yeah. We're hearing the YouTube stadium. We're hearing We Are What We Are, and what we are is an illusion. Monét comes from the ground. Listen to me. Monét rises from the ground back to the audience wearing a beautiful stone gown. Stones from the top of her neck to the bottom of her brand new FFS feet. Monét turns around, she goes, and then it goes into a beautiful rendition of I Am What I Am. They rejoin her and start singing We Are What We Are. Monét says, welcome to the decennial drag queen gay men's chorus show. This will be the biggest selling show in the history of the gay men's chorus. And you have Bob the drag queen and Monét X Change attached. I don't know why they're not already writing a check. Because we're gonna make some money, honey.
Honestly, it sounds. I mean, I think a decennial drag queen chorus show would be a lot of fun. That sounds a lot of fun. But I think there are a lot of moving parts. It'll be a lot. It'll be a lot to take on.
And
so the ultimate question I have about this show, Jacob, is what is your drag name?
Oh, my drag name? You know, here's the thing.
A lot of loads.
I do have a drag name that I came up with, but also another drag queen in New York also came up with it and actually started doing drag. So I feel like I can't claim it, but the name that I like and really see for myself would be Hanukkah Lewinsky.
Hanukkah Lewinsky is great.
That's a good name.
But I think I might have to go back to the drawing board because she's a wonderful queen. Look her up on Instagram. She's great. Book her.
Didn't you once say your name would be like Edna? Like you do like an old lady voice?
Oh, I do think it would be objectively funny if there's. I guess I grew up like around a lot of like Orthodox Jewish women who like wore wigs. Like a lot of Jewish women, you can't let anyone see your hair. So they get around that by wearing wigs. So like the really rich Orthodox Jewish women are wearing like the full units that look flawless and seamless. But also like sometimes you are just like are walking around, you see a woman wearing just like a kind of like a low key Party City wig, and it's kind of camp. And I do think it would be funny if there's a drag queen who is like a Hasidic Jewish woman, but I think that's like a very niche thing and no one actually wants to see that. But
and what's her name?
For me, I think you would just like have a regular like woman,
Ethel,
like Ethel. Yeah,
there was that show that Cracker and Moshel used to do. Like it was like the Jewish show, the Jewish drag queen show. It was like Hebrew Nights or
Hebrew.
No, Hebrew was the promoting company, like the event playing. But it was like I forget what the specific party was called. I always wanted to go, but it only lasted like 2 years, and I knew of it, and I wasn't in New York. Then pandemic happened, and it went away. Or at least it went away from me. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, let's ask Jacob a question I just forgot.
Getting to see Jacob in the Gay Men's Chorus was really exciting for me. You know, when I met Jacob, he was performing out in San Francisco in a play called The Compton Cafeteria Riots. Also, when I met Jacob had long hair when I met him, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how long?
It was like maybe down to here. And my hair gets curly when it gets out, so it like that kind of vibe.
Really?
Yeah, I can show you
almost kind of like Gene Simmons.
No.
Kind of. A little bit, yeah. The hair was...
I can't even picture that.
And one day I came home and from work, and Jacob was wearing one of my wigs. And I honestly just didn't think anything of it. And Jacob was like, "You're not going to ask me why I'm wearing this wig?" I was like, "No, not really." You remember this, Jacob?
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And he was like, "You're not going to ask me why I'm wearing this wig?" I was like, "Oh, no, I just thought you just had a wig on. Like, I guess in my world, it's not that crazy to wear a wig." And then Jacob pulled his wig off and he had a buzz cut. And I was like, "Oh my God." I was gagged.
Oh, you buzzed it all off. Why did you buzz it all off? You're just over it.
Yeah, I find I liked having long hair, but also like I think learning to take care of hair is like a thing that takes a lot of time. And I realize most people who like have long hair kind of like grow up learning how to take care of it. And I was just like, this is not giving what I wanted it to give when I grew my hair out. It just feels ratty and like a little wild. And it takes so much time and effort to like do every morning.
Tell me about your decision, Jacob, to go from Android to iPhone.
Oh, there's not a real decision. Mikey, my other partner, was doing a brand deal with Apple, and they gave him 2 iPhone 15s for free, so he gave me one. And I needed.
And are you loving your experience on this side of the passion?
I like them both for different reasons. I think I prefer Android a little bit more than iPhone, to be honest. But like, it is nice how integrated the iPhone is with all my other devices because I do use a Mac computer.
So that's what I was thinking. Like, why doesn't? Because Samsung is obviously a huge company. Why don't they start making computers? And why don't they start like doing? Because they're Apple's direct competition. I feel.
When they just start making computers is quite. Why don't they just start making computers?
I mean, they make fucking TVs, speakers. They make everything else.
Yeah, but they have a hold on the TV market.
To be very clear, Samsung does make computers.
Do they? See, see, Bob. So they do already make them. That's not crazy.
No, but just start making computers is crazy. Just start making computers.
I mean, if a company can find the resources and figure it out, Samsung. If they did not, it would not be a far-fetched idea for Samsung to start making computers. That's not crazy. It's not like they're not in technology.
What I think it is great, which is why, like, when Apple decided to make cars, people were like, "Do y'all need to make a?" People were like, "Just start making Apple. You don't need to make cars." You remember they announced the Apple car,
and they did. It's like a thing now. I think they really are doing it for real. Let me look it up.
Have you taken a Waymo before?
I have not.
They're cute.
I think I'm about to do one.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I just want to go somewhere in a Waymo.
Go to Monet's house. Oh, she's not there.
Oh, wow. I mean, the designs for the Apple car look amazing. From 2014 until 2024, this year, Apple undertook a research and development effort to develop an electric and self-driving car codenamed Project Titan.
But it might...
These are theoretical.
What are they going to do if it flops?
Say it again?
What are they going to do if it flops?
I don't know. I mean, it looked cool, but...
What are some Apple flop products? I'm sure there's been some.
That fucking the Vision Pro. Did that flopped kind of?
Ooh, the Vision Pro did low-key flop hard, didn't it?
I think but I mean, Meta is making one that's apparently going to be like fierce.
Well, I think all the, like, you remember Google Glass?
Google Glass, yeah, I remember that.
all the eyewear stuff kind of flops. It always flops.
No, but Meta's making like something like they're developing something now that's going to be like fierce.
Don't they own Oculus?
That is Meta.
Yeah,
but then someone came out with the glasses. Who's in the glasses? The Ray-Bans.
Ray-Ban.
I think that's Meta.
Yeah, Meta is doing it with the Ray-Bans. Yeah,
I came out with something else. I was talking to Andy. I was like, "What do you guys think? What do you guys think the next big thing is going to take over? Like, you know, like you had like how AI is doing a thing now. Like I feel like like cell phones were like in the past 20 years. What cell phones are really like they're like a thing that we all have, like a big technological advance. I think it's going to be holograms.
I think VR will probably be there first.
Before holograms?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're close to VR. I think eventually somebody is going to do the right product, the right concept that people is going to click with people and is going to work and feel like we can integrate into our lives.
Let's be real. We have all put off going to the doctor at some point, okay? Maybe you told yourself, I'm too busy, or it'll heal on its own, or my personal favorite, I don't even know which doctor to go to. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, well, we've all been there, okay, baby? But the truth is, your health shouldn't take a back seat, and that's where ZocDoc comes in. With ZocDoc, finding a doctor is ridiculously easy. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. No more sitting on hold with a receptionist for 20 minutes just to be told the next available slot is in 3 months or they're not in your network.
And the best part, y'all, ZocDoc has more than, get this, 100,000 doctors across every specialty.
Can this be a dating website too?
Honestly, it should be. I mean, maybe you can use it as a dating app. Who knows?
Datadoctor.com. Monét, we have our next venture.
Whether you need mental health, dental, primary care, urgent care, you name it. You can even filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, and are highly rated by verified patients. No more guessing if a doctor is a good fit. You know what you know on ZocDoc. Plus, appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours, and sometimes even the same day. So if you've been putting off that checkup or dealing with a red rash that won't go away, we ain't judging. We are not judging. We're just advising. Now is the time to get it taken care of. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/rivalry to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/rivalry. ZocDoc.com/rivalry.
We should spell rivalry. That's one hard to spell. Rivalry. ZocDoc's easy to spell. Rivalry, as we know, is hard to spell.
Hey, I know the video just cut off, and I know you're upset about it because you want to see the dolls. I know you do, but there is one way to see us. Go to our Patreon, right, Roberta?
That's right. And not only will you see the rest of this video, you're going to see so many exclusive videos. You get to see some of our one-woman shows. You get to watch our Untucked thoughts. You get to see, listen, there is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, it's the best Patreon in the business.
100%. Bar none.
All right, let's get back to the episode.
Let's do it.
I think what it is about the Apple Vision Pro that it's like it is so like you can't go anywhere with it, right? So
Why?
it's also but you can't go. I mean, you can go out in the world, but you look crazy. The difference between wearing an Apple Watch or a pair of Ray-Ban glasses versus having a helmet on your head, like goggles, the size of a helmet on you look like you're from the MCU and you have nanotechnology. You know what I mean? Like the Black Panther's mask was smaller than this. So you're wearing this giant thing on your head in person. I could imagine feeling, even though you can see through it, I can imagine feeling way too self-conscious to wear this giant thing on your head when you're walking around. So I think that's part of, and also none of them have integrated with, to my knowledge anyway, with the major players in the gaming industry. So none of them are working with Sony. None of them are working with Nintendo. None of them are working with any of these people, right? But
Microsoft.
Microsoft. But if some of them, gang and got up with Fortnite, if you could play Fortnite on with the headset, I think people would be much more into it than playing, no shade, the games they have for these. I mean, I like the one with the boxes. The Saber game is really fun. And there was one where you shoot people and you try to avoid the lines of the gun.
Yeah.
But the games, they're not great.
Yeah, I think that's the way to get into it for like mass appeal, especially for children and people who like purchase who want this stuff. Is start making like Nintendo like needs to if Nintendo took on this virtual reality thing and augmented reality, whatever, you had a headset you can be playing Mario Kart with or Smash or fucking what's the boomerang foo? Like I think that's when people will be like, oh shit. I think games are the first avenue that they need to take on.
Like first person boomerang foo would be crazy.
Like you see the boomerang coming, you like, but then you have to go to a place to make sure you're not bumping into your fucking table and your chandelier and shit.
I mean, Jacob, did you enjoy the Oculus?
I thought it was fun. As like I liked Super Hot, the one shooting game. That was the most fun I had with it. Most of the other applications that I tried it for didn't feel like super great, but it also felt like it was a graphics thing for me. Like you could watch a movie on it, but like watching Netflix on it was lower quality graphics than if I just watched it on my computer. And there was no reason like to watch it in worse graphics on, I guess, a bigger virtual screen. Like that didn't feel like enough of a draw.
Where is our
into the VR porn, and it was also not incredibly great.
Yeah, Andy likes VR porn. Not okay, that's crazy to say, but like I think Andy has done it one to two before, and he's like, "Oh, that's crazy."
To be fair,
where is our Oculus?
I didn't want to pay for it, so I was also looking at whatever was free out there, and like maybe that's also the bottom of the barrel, but it's strange.
Where is our Oculus?
I have it.
It's on the shelf, below the gaming TV.
Got it. I have not used the thing in forever. It was like it had a hot month, and then we were like, I can't.
Yeah, someone sent it to me
for free in a promo package, which is
me too. I got mine for free in a promo package.
And then I went to go look at the new Oculus when it came out, and this really handsome guy. Do you remember this, Jacob? This really cute guy at Best Buy.
I hooked up with him. We talked about this.
That's right.
Beforehand.
He was trying to sell.
Like somebody I met on Grindr, and we like hooked up, and then randomly he was like the Oculus spokesperson at a Best Buy. And
I was like, I almost bought it. It was cute.
Podcast, probably.
Word. It was very cute. I was like, I almost bought an Oculus. I didn't even need one. If a cute person tries to sell me something, I will probably buy it. I'm not gonna lie to you. If y'all send a cute person my way, I will probably.
Is that why we have those giant heavy plates?
Yes. Yes. This cute guy sold me a plateware set that Monét, do I look like a girl in the plateware?
No.
Well, I got this giant bowl. And you can go grab one, Jacob. I don't know how particularly cute the plateware is, but I will say this: it is durable. I've had that plateware since we filmed the first episode of We're Here 4 years ago. Not a chip, not a ding, not a nothing. They're actually genuinely great handmade. It's one plate and one bowl.
How much was that?
Maybe like $200
for a plate and a bowl.
They're handmade.
Must be nice.
And he was cute.
Spending $200 on a plate and a bowl is crazy.
We have 7 chocolates in it right now.
I can't, girl. That shit's so pixelated. I don't know what that shit look like.
It's a nice bowl. I like the bowl. I genuinely like the bowl. I would never spend much money on the bowl again.
Were you Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon kids?
I played Pokemon, but I did watch. I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. What I hate about those shows, they were always cliffhangers, which I get it. They want you to tune in every day after school. But I'm like, can we stop? Like, Dragon Ball Z was the worst. Every episode of Dragon Ball Z was about 10 minutes long after all the commercials. And it was also, like, they would get into, like, a second of fighting or, like, this for 10 minutes. And then on next week. That shit was so irritating, but I was a Pokemon girly.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Girly, but I never played the card game. It was too confusing for me. But the TV show I loved watching. Do what?
The math, the 1+1 and all that stuff was too much for you?
I don't know.
And then the math in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't there?
Yeah, but I really enjoyed the TV show. And I was always weirded out that no one ever addressed that Yu-Gi-Oh! Just became a grown-ass man for moments at a time. Like, there's this little kid, all of a sudden, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just a full-on grown-ass man. Everyone's like, yep, there's Yu-Gi-Oh! He's grown now. No one ever addressed
part of the plot.
Yeah. What?
There was like, I forget the exact vibe, but like Yu-Gi-Oh! Has like ties to like an ancient Egyptian prince who's like the dual monster prince person.
I remember.
And they're tied through the necklace that he wears or something. So
The eye.
he's like being the ancient prince is like coming into him or something. Like there's some personality swap there. He's like channeling the ancient prince. So
yeah, but I feel like it was never really. I mean, you would see the necklace light up, but people who just met Yu-Gi-Oh, who had never challenged him, were like, "Oh, I'm challenging this kid, and now this grown ass man is looking at me."
I could be wrong, but I also think it's only like to us, the viewer. Like I think he's presenting as a kid to everybody, and that's just to show the shift that's happened. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, Bob. Duh.
Monét, shut the hell up. You literally have no clue.
Like, duh. Like we. Yes. I can't.
I'm about to dark mage you, bitch. I'm about to blue eyes white dragon you.
Oh my god, the blue eyes. I think what was the most powerful. What were you?
Oh, I was a Pokemon kid. Yu-Gi-Oh happened, but my parents already spent money on Pokemon cards for me, and they were like, "We're not doing another one of these. You got to stick to Pokemon Girl." So I had a Yu-Gi-Oh deck that was made from sad discarded Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh cards that my friends gave me that they didn't want.
Damn. Did you ever have any holographic Pokemon cards?
Oh yeah, for sure. I sell my old Pokemon cards. Yeah, I did.
Sell them. They're worth a lot of money, aren't they?
No, I went through. I did them. My Magic cards actually are worth a bunch. I made $500 selling all my Magic cards in college.
You played Magic the Gathering?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I tried Magic the Gathering in high school, but I couldn't afford any cards, and I did not have anyone to play with. We were very much brokies. Very much brokies. That's clocked. And whenever I tried to play, also at my school, there were not very many people playing Magic the Gathering. There were a few people playing Pokemon, but Magic the Gathering, like I feel like this is the levels of nerdiness. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And then way above that is Dungeons and Dragons. And there were just not a lot of Magic the Gathering girlies at my school. Lots of Pokemon girlies, and also, I mean, I don't want to say out loud that Magic the Gathering isn't a black people game, but at my black school, they were not playing Magic the Gathering
because it was too dangerous. They didn't like how dangerous it was.
No, it just didn't catch. It just didn't catch wind. Magic the Gathering just never caught wind. You know?
Damn. Yeah, I wasn't aware of any of the Magic or D&D until college. I didn't know those were even games. I didn't know those were even a thing that existed.
Was it the first time you played D&D with Dropout?
Mm-hmm. First time ever.
Right. And my second time was with Dropout.
My first time playing Smash, though, was in college. In the freshman lounge, with the freshman and sophomore lounge, they had a GameCube there, and that's when they had Melee, and that's the first time But before that, I was really into GameCube. Like, I had Beautiful Joe, Mario Kart Double Dash, a lot of those, like, GameCube games.
We gotta bring back Double Dash. Double Dash was
so good.
Let me be honest, and this is a judging book by the cover thing, but I never got into GameCube because I thought the console looked ugly.
I mean, it was a cube.
Consoles kind of look kind of wild.
I thought it looked ugly. What do you want from me? I was like, this is an ugly looking console. I don't want to buy it. Like, the PlayStation looks so good. Oh my God. And by the way, the best looking PlayStation is the PlayStation 2.
I don't like that. I think PlayStation 1 was the coolest one. It was sleek.
When they turned her on her side and painted it black, I said, we're living in the future.
You know you can get the 30th anniversary PlayStation on eBay.
Can you? But it's probably like $1 million, is it not?
It was going for like 700, but
really?
It's being sold for like 8,000. I don't know if it's the one you want, but you should look into it.
Yes, I want the 30th anniversary. Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But what I find weird about it is Jacob said it looked like an original PlayStation. I was like, I thought it was going to actually look like the original. Like, it was going to be like back on its side.
No, it's the colors. The colors.
They could have done that.
I mean, for all that it does, I think it's too small. Like, Bob, I saw, so when Andy and I went to the Rose Bowl Flea, and I had this company, I don't know the company's name, but they basically take like the first iPhone, Blackberries, Nokias, old systems, and they basically put it in like a glass, and they pull all the pieces apart, and it looks really cool. And I had a PlayStation 1 there. Girl, when I tell you the thing, this like this thin and like this big, they're small. And with the processors and stuff, there's no way they can make them that small.
What if they scale it up? Just make it bigger.
Maybe they could.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
What is the most beautiful console you ever had? Because for me, the most beautiful console I ever owned was a Sega Saturn.
Baby, I didn't have that.
The Sega Saturn was a baddie. Look it up right now. The Sega Saturn was a full-on baddie, honey. By the way, no one had a Sega Saturn. I didn't have any friends to play to switch games with. Me and Justin were the only kids in school with a Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn.
I love the way I thought this looked so cool.
And Jacob, just a heads up for bitch, I'm on eBay. The 30th anniversary bundle is the cheapest I've seen is $3,500. That's crazy. Anyway, continue.
Jacob said Amazon, not eBay.
He said eBay.
I said eBay.
You said eBay? Oh.
Well, this one right here is for $665.
Send me the link.
Let me tell you right now. Jacob be finding stuff. Baby, Jacob had us a PS5 in no time.
Well, here's the thing about like these people though. How do you know that's a reputable person? What if I order that shit, bitch? A fucking bag of
they have reviews.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their seller reviews versus how much they've sold. So this person has 100% reviews and 10 sales, which maybe I would probably want a little bit more than that. But yeah.
Well, send me that link, Jacob. Sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to just hold on.
What's the last thing you bought on eBay?
I don't think I've ever purchased anything from eBay.
Really?
Nothing. No, I know what it was. This was in a little after college. I bought. Remember that? I bought an iCybe.
What is that?
It was a little robot dog.
Oh, those little dogs. Yeah.
I bought an iCybe. Like I want to say, like maybe like my senior year of high school or first year of college, something like that.
Who had one of those robo dogs in the runway of Drag Race?
They did. Who had that?
Oh, it was Sugar or Spice, I think.
Oh God!
Like the little robot dog. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
What was your last eBay purchase, Jacob?
Let me look. I think it was a Pokemon card.
Before these RuPaul shoes, my last purchase was a bottle of Fabergé, an antique cologne called Fabergé.
Antique cologne? Why did you want an antique cologne?
So I bought a bottle of cologne for this character, this guy named Danny Benstock was in the play, and his character wore Fabergé in the 80s. So I went online and I found a bottle of Fabergé. It was very hard to find to give him as a gift. A bit like, oh, this is your character's cologne, because it's a big thing about I wear Fabergé. So I bought him a bottle of Fabergé as a gift, and it was low key leaking. So like the apartment just smelled like old. Well, it didn't smell old. It just felt like very strong cologne for like a week. And then I gave him this gift. But he was kind of gagged. He was like, "Oh my God, it's Fabergé. Like they don't even make this anymore."
Interesting. Not a bottle of Fabergé. That's hilarious.
And I think it's supposed to be like nice cologne, maybe, or something.
Fabergé.
You wear cologne, Monét?
Yeah, I wear cologne. So I bought a bottle of, this is like when it was like so super popular, like 5 or 6, 7 years ago. I bought a bottle of Santal 33, 32. I've had that for a long time, but I've switched to another 13 for like the past like 2 or 3 years. But they last forever. Those bottles are expensive, but they last forever.
Wasn't I with you when you bought some?
Maybe.
Or were you buying diffusers? Like you were in that place next to the cake shop.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love when we do little outings together.
Yeah, why don't we go get cake? Oh, you and Andy were eating cake.
I mean, I think I just wanted a slice of cake.
No, it was a whole thing. You and Andy were having like a cake night, and you're gonna buy cake for you. And it wasn't just like I want cake. It was like me and Andy. Monét be like, me and Andy, well, we eat cake on Thursdays.
Okay, now you're doing it. I don't do such shit like that.
Monét be like, well, every Thursday, me and Andy, listen, we watch a movie. But what we like to do, we close our eyes and one of us scrolls through Amazon and whatever it lands on, well, that's what we watch.
Hey, Monét, what are your favorite go-to LA date night restaurants?
Do what?
Gay restaurants?
No, date night.
Oh, okay. So we go to eat a lot. I was like, gay? What's gay?
Andy and I, we go to restaurants on dates.
So we used to love Bavel. Bavel was a restaurant we went to, downtown Bavel. It's like a Mediterranean place. It was really good. The first 2 times we were really good. We went for a 3rd time recently, and it wasn't good. So there's that. Let me go.
I feel like so much of how I enjoy a restaurant depends on where I'm sitting.
I can see that.
Like sometimes I've gone to restaurants and I've been like, this is great. And then I've gone back to the same one. And I've got like one of those sandwich. I feel like sometimes when you go out, you're just like sandwiched in like a tiny area with two people and it's not the fantasy.
This is why restaurants stress me out.
Well, I mean, not in LA so much. I feel like in New York, that was my experience a lot. But in LA, I feel like a lot of places have a lot of space. So it's normally pretty good. There's
I got really happy during the lockdown when they started putting those little street diner
sidewalk seating,
because there's always so much more space. You're not being blasted with music. So eating at Jacob's Pickles in the street, that is the experience I prefer versus being, because Jacob's Pickles is so dark. I feel like I'm in a dungeon when I'm in there eating.
That's crazy.
I disagree.
To me, it feels very, very dark. I'm like, this is very dark in here, and the music is always so loud. Like we're screaming.
Not screaming. Screaming at me saying it's very dark in here is crazy.
They turn the volume up so you won't want to stay long.
I don't think that's true.
It is true. I worked at restaurants. It's a whole thing. It's part of the design of restaurants. Restaurants are not designed to make you want to stay long. They're designed to make you want to leave as soon as you're done eating. So they can flip your table and turn a profit.
I feel like we've never, like, between you and Jacob, Andy and I, we've never went on a double date. We should go on a double date. Or a quin date with Mikey and also.
Okay, if you want to.
Yeah.
Where since Bob's don't like restaurants, where the fuck are we gonna go?
We go to Bakari.
I love Bakari. Bakari's a great restaurant. Andy doesn't love
probably Bakari Silver Lake because it's a little bit more chill than the Hollywood one.
I feel like that one is louder. The one in Hollywood, I feel like is a little more tame. The one in Silver Lake is crazy.
If y'all are interested in my input, I would love to go to somewhere like Universal Studios. I would like to maybe go to someplace where we don't have to be like inside of a restaurant. There's so many things we can do. You know,
Universal Studios in LA is so whack. I
want to go to Mario World though.
I mean, I'll be down to go. I just feel.
Have you been to Mario World yet?
I haven't.
Oh no, yeah, I want to see Mario World.
But like, I feel like there's not anything super attractive. Like, I feel like missed opportunity for Mario World to not do a live, like a big VR, Smash Brothers or Mario Kart where you can like drive a thing. Like, I'm like, how? Like, missed opportunity. Why didn't someone do that?
I mean, that is the ride there. It's a Mario Kart ride that you drive.
But one of those virtual ones you sit in, and it's like a roller coaster ride. I'm like talking about like a real one. Like 4 people can sit, and you're on a track that the car doesn't move, but the track moves under it, so you can drive, you can turn and stuff like that. It's like
you mean like a roller coaster,
huh?
Like a roller coaster?
No, you have a virtual helmet on, and you're in the car, and it's on like a treadmill basically, so your car can drive, and you can go fast and slow down, you can turn, but you're in the virtual world of it. If that makes sense. So you're in the car.
Disney had a virtual reality thing in Florida called Disney Quest, and they had a virtual, like, you put on a headset and you got on like a fake motorbike, and then you looked around and you were on a magic carpet, and it was like a magic carpet racing game.
Something like that for Mario Kart would have been fierce.
That feels like a great way to get head lice.
You know, I didn't get them, but I see that for sure.
Also, I mean, I don't think I'd have to worry about head lice. I don't think head lice is really a problem for me. But if you are a person who is prone to head lice, that sounds like a great way to get it.
I mean, I feel like it's probably easier to get fucking athletes from bowling shoes. But these places, they figure out a way to disinfect things so you don't.
Well, they disinfect them and you have to wear socks.
Yeah, and I think I've been to places where you have to, like, when you do like one of those streetcar things or bumper cars, a helmet, they have a little helmet condom you can put on.
I don't really worry about head lice because it doesn't really affect me.
What do you say, Jacob?
Sorry. There's a weird period of time when, like, they were trying to make, I don't know if they're still doing this. They were trying to make like scooters, like city bike, but scooters, like in New York. You had a helmet that was just like a helmet scooter that you would put on.
I remember
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I remember it was the blue Revel scooters.
Yeah. I don't know if there's something else, but
so why are there no helmets for the bikes?
Because the bike is not a law. I think when you're on a motorized thing, there's a law to have a helmet on, but I think the bike wasn't. I'm guessing because city bike you don't have to wear helmets, but the Revel, by law, you have to have a helmet to even operate it. You have to take a picture with you with it on.
Liability thing. I think if city bike provides you with a helmet and then you get in an accident, you can probably sue them. Whereas if you don't, like, and it probably the money you would make. I'm not explaining myself well. The money you would make for potentially suing City Bike versus whatever the motorcycle company is probably more, because more people might get into bike accidents because they're
in New York City. You absolutely must wear you must wear a helmet when riding a bike in New York City if you're a child under 14 or a commercial cyclist. Interesting. So if you are working, you have to wear a helmet. If you're under 14, you do. But other folks don't have to wear helmets.
Yeah. Which I think is the best way to get around the city. A city bike is a great way to get around New York City. It's fucking perfect. Love that shit.
It stresses me out. Just like driving next to so many cars like that is stressful.
Oh, I love it. I put my headphones on, which is probably not safe. That is not a safe way to ride. But I put my headphones on and live.
What are you listening to?
Whatever is popular right now. If I was to get on city bike right now, which I won't because it's fucking cold. And you know what they don't tell you? Riding a bike in the winter without gloves on is torture. Your hands are falling off because it's so cold.
Well, that's why all the people on mopeds have those big things they make. They like basically make gloves, but they're giant. If you ever go to New York City, you'll see the Vespas. They all have these plastic bag boxing gloves. It looks like they're holding boxing gloves
yeah.
and they're attached to the steering wheel. You put your hands inside of that. Would you be right now being like loathing, unadulterated
loathing for your face? Jacob, this is so nice having you on the podcast. Did you hate it or did you love it?
That's the iconic. So Jacob, after 5 years, how did it feel? Did you feel nervous? Do you feel comfortable? How do you feel being on this side of the pod?
I feel good about it. I guess we'll have to wait to read the YouTube comments to really get the full scope of it. Because that's when we really find out how good a guest did on the podcast.
Also, a lot of people, how many of you are seeing Jacob for the first time ever? For some reason, apparently, a lot of you thought Jacob was a redhead. This is a very popular theory online. When the few times Jacob has popped up, they were like, I thought Jacob was a redhead.
Not fan fiction. Screaming.
Which is, I don't know what about Jacob gives redhead.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I don't know.
Did you ever dye your hair? Did you ever dye your hair red, Jacob?
I have dyed it red before.
Oh, there you have it.
I need to figure out how to get a refund for my gypsy tickets. Oh, sorry. I mean, tickets.
Oh, wow. And on that note, thank you for coming on Monét's show, because that wasn't me. That was Monét. That was Macaroni X Cheese.
Macaroni X Cheese.
All right. Bye, y'all.